How's it going, everybody? My name's Warner Fields with Fields of Profit. Today, I'm here with my friend James, who's actually also one of my coaching students in Lightspeed FBA. Super happy to have him on the channel. He's had a super fun story going from just really starting out, hitting some awesome milestones that we'll talk about. But for people who are, getting into Amazon, all that, you want to kind of introduce yourself, tell a little bit about what you're doing right now.
Absolutely. So my name is James and got started with this whole journey selling on Amazon just about 3 or 4 months ago. Found it, and at the beginning, I didn't believe it. I didn't understand how I could buy things and then sell them on Amazon for more than I bought them for. Did some research and actually found Warner's videos on YouTube. Learned a whole lot just from that, and decided to go ahead and get started, and had a really fun start. Found some products and got a little bit of cash, and then kept watching Warner and found his program. And since I've gotten into that, I went from doing about 8,000 to about 2 months later, we just did 35,000 in sales.
That's awesome.
So super excited about the growth, super thankful to everything that I've learned from Warner. And I definitely could not be where I am without his support.
I appreciate the vouch there, James. You're making it sound like I paid you to be on here. I'll shoot you an extra lead or something like that after.
Oh, good.
Sweet. That's awesome. I love hearing stories like that. You see those, but it's fun to, have you on the channel and all that. So, maybe backing up a little bit, right? So you're saying like, is this real? Like, can I really sell on Amazon? Like, what was it about selling on Amazon? And really, we're doing arbitrage. If any of you guys are brand new, just like buying from Walmart and flipping it on Amazon. So it's kind of crazy, right? So how did you actually, wander into that? Why did you pick Amazon over other opportunities?
It's a good question. So I actually have 2 friends that are in this journey with me, and we've been friends for a really long time, and we like to hang out, do whatever. We had talked for a long time about looking for an opportunity to work on projects together, but we all 3 of us have pretty demanding day jobs. So when we kind of found this whole Amazon arbitrage deal, researched it and figured out that it really was something that we could do together, working in the evenings, working on the weekends, and really it was just a natural extension of the time we were spending together anyway. And it really is able to work around my day job and the 2 of them as well. So it takes up a lot of our times during normal business hours. We're able to do this outside of those hours and really build it as much and as far as we want to go. Really was just a good fit is basically the bottom line with that. We were able to make it work.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm with you on that. Like that was something that really stuck out to me when I started on Amazon because I was full-time in college and was able to work it around. And, my last year of college made 6 figures in profit. So it's fun to see what you're able to do just, part-time. It's not passive income. You'll see people call it passive, but it's nice to have that, the income while you're not actively working at least,
It's not passive, but it's definitely money that you can build and watch it build and really get that satisfaction for organization building, especially at the stage that we're at now where we're adding virtual team members.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we'll get into that in a second, but just, taking it a step further, right? So, you got into Amazon, you're selling that 8K a month or so, but obviously that took some know-how to get there. So for that guy or girl who's watching right now, they haven't sourced their first product. How did you find that first product? And, would you recommend doing the same thing or is there a different method you'd recommend?
Really good question. So along the lines of the research that we did where we found you, we also stumbled onto a lot of other people, peddling their knowledge, their courses, their whatever. And we really got started by purchasing a lead list. And our first products came off of that lead list. And in retrospect, looking back, it was not really great, but it was producing enough to pay for itself and to get us started. And one thing that it did for us was on those few items that it did work for, it gave us a little bit of a template of some things that we could look for so that when we weren't looking at the list, we could kind of look for those same characteristics in other products that we might want to purchase in arbitrage.
Yeah, that's awesome. Would you suggest someone to go out and try a leads list or, what's your thoughts on that?
If you're just getting started, then I would absolutely recommend a leads list. It really worked for us to get us going. The thing that I would caution you is don't hang on to it for too long because we found that we paid for it probably at least 1 month too long. So I would absolutely use it getting started. Just watch that you don't use it for a crutch longer than you need it.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I've even been suggesting, like I used to be like, never use leads list, anything like that. But especially for those of you guys who've got decent capital and you're willing to just, hey, I've got $100. Let me see a big list of opportunities that people are sourcing, right? And you're learning like, oh, I can source from that website. And oh, there's that coupon that I didn't know about. You can kind of start to learn opportunities that you can source on your own. But like James is saying, I wouldn't recommend, staying on them forever. So, leaving the leads list and all that, maybe how did you start finding those first items like that you sourced on your own?
Good question. So the leads list taught us a few things. One of the things that it showed us was places that we could find opportunities. So our first items that we sourced without the lists sort of pointing us were in those websites that the leads list had pointed us back to kind of over and over and over. And so that's one of the ways that it was beneficial for us, so that we could go back to dip into those honey holes and go down through and find some products that would work without the leads list specifically pointing it out.
That's awesome. Yeah. So the other question I'm sure everyone at home is wondering, you got the 9 to 5, your other partners have the 9 to 5s and stuff. How much time is it actually taking you to start, building this business right now?
That's a really good question. So at the start, when we first started, we were probably spending 3 hours to 4 hours a week sourcing, and we would spend somewhere between 3 and 6 hours on the weekend packing. And, we were really excited. We were getting a little bit of sales happening, and we were like, man, this is something that we can really sustain. We really quickly have grown to the point that I'm spending at least an hour a night going through sourcing, a lot of times an hour in the morning and an hour at night going through sourcing. I know my other guys are doing the same thing. Nice. And we pack at least twice a week, usually one night during the week, and then all day, one day on the weekend. Now we're starting to do things that can kind of alleviate that time commitment a little bit, but we're actually spending quite a bit of time on it right now.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And yeah, that's what it takes, right? Like in the beginning, you talked to a lot of people who are like, oh, I'm going to hire a virtual assistant and get a prep center right away. It's like, you just can't do that, right?
No, absolutely not. In fact, we have virtual assistants now. We've signed up with prep centers now. And I don't think that we could have managed and handled those tools without the experience of the last 4 months.
For sure. Yeah. So, that was something you were talking about there early on, is leveraging virtual assistants. And obviously that's probably pretty important for all of you guys having day jobs and being able to pull yourself out of the business a little bit. So, what is your aspirations with hiring some VAs, and, what are they even doing for you right now?
So right now we have 2 virtual assistants, and they are sourcing VAs. So what that means is that their whole job for us is to go through websites that we like to source from, or on their own, news sources that we haven't considered before, and to look for leads. And we have criteria that we've given them, and each and every day they populate their own spreadsheet full of leads for us to go back and look at it. It's kind of like getting a leads list, except for instead of 1 or 2 really good items, we're getting 6 or 7 or 8
awesome.
good items per list every day. And so it's been a huge help for us, especially in the last month in terms of growth. We actually were able to spend more this past month than we even took in sales, which is really exciting for us, because that means we're setting up for a really huge month next month.
That's awesome. Yeah, this is the only industry where it's like, yeah, we spent more than we've made, and that's a good thing, right? Like it means you're about to grow fast.
It sounds crazy, but
yeah.
It's a real sign of success.
That's awesome. Yeah, and that's the type of stuff that we're, I'm obviously really big on helping all you guys, is buying your time back, right? That's what business is all about for me, and that's what my Amazon business. That's what my goal is I don't want to have the highest margins. I want to make the most money per hour of my time, right? Like that's right. What it's about.
And I'd say one of the really huge benefits of being part of your program and getting your mentorship is having the confidence to do that, seeing that the plan works, the program works, the foundational just principles, they make sense and they work. And so it really gives you the confidence to be able to spend more than you made even in revenue this past month, and trust and know that that's just going to lead to a better next month.
Yeah, that's awesome. I appreciate that. Yeah. So, maybe, moving forward into the future a little bit, like, do you have any like specific goals by the end of the year? Seems like you're taking off. Do you want to put a number on it?
It's a little, we'll call it a little aspirational.
Yeah.
We want to hit 2 million by the end of the month.
That would be epic. That would be epic.
At the end of the month, end of the year. And that sounds like a lot considering where we're at now, but we're looking at that growth each month. And our goal and our intention is to continue that scale of growth. Mm-hmm. And we believe if we do that, then it's definitely possible to hit it. Now, if we only hit 75% of it, I'm not even going to be mad.
Yeah. Who's going to complain with, 1.5 mil, Yeah, that's definitely an aspirational goal, but I love it. Like, it's possible. You'd have to have an awesome Q4, but I'm excited to see it happen.
We've got our fingers crossed. We're hoping.
Yep. Sweet. So, for the guy or girl at home who's wanting to jump in, they want to get started selling, and, maybe they've sold a little bit, what words of advice would you have to them? What should they take action on and do?
Well, the first thing is to really consider what you're looking at, what you're aspiring to, and make sure that it's something that you want to do, because it's not a get rich quick scheme. Mm-hmm. It's got to be something that you are willing to put in the time and the work. And if that's the case, if this is something that you want to put your efforts towards, your resources towards, and your time towards, can be very rewarding, both in just seeing the success that you're building, but and also, yes, the financial success as well. And I'm really young in the journey, but I can already see the benefits that it's reaped, and I can really see the possibilities in front of me. So if this is something that you aspire to, that you're interested in, that sounds like something that you would be good at, then put in the time, do the research. One of the really big benefits for us, one of the things that really contributed a lot to our success, is the research that we put into even before we actually sold a thing, looking at the tools that we were going to need for doing this business, like SellerAmp. I can't imagine doing this business.
Yeah, I don't remember it before SellerAmp.
I would be completely lost. I don't understand how it ever worked. So learning about tools like that are going to be invaluable it was a really big part of our success from day one.
That's awesome. Would there be anything you'd do differently if you were going back to day one and you're that beginner right now?
I would have spent more faster.
Sure. Just learn those lessons and all that kind of stuff. That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. I mean, when I look back to the early days, I mean, if I could have just spent more time sourcing so that I could learn it faster, if I could have spent more faster and really been confident in it, we might be twice as far along as we are now.
Sure. Yeah. Obviously easier said than done now that you've built the confidence, but it should be encouraging, right? If you're sitting at home and kind of the biggest regrets, that was probably my biggest regret too, is that I didn't start spending more faster.
I guess I would say that's easy for me to say right now, just spend more money. But I guess a more usable piece of advice would be, don't be afraid. If you have done the research, if you've done the study, if you know what you're looking for on your tools and your metrics, then trust your knowledge and trust your gut and do the spend.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. And obviously I appreciate you hopping on and all that. So is there any, questions, maybe anything that's holding you back right now? Because there's probably people in the audience who are wondering the same thing. Like, any questions for me? I'm open book.
Biggest thing that is holding me back right now is organizing my time.
Sure.
I've got a lot of resources in terms of the virtual assistants and the assistance that they are giving right now. I've got my 2 business partners. We're set up with prep centers. So we have a lot of resources in front of us. And right now we're just working on organizing and maximizing all of that so that we can really squeeze every ounce productivity out of what we have.
Sure. Yeah. I would say like something that helped me there is like time blocking different things out. So like, only on certain days of the week, I'm going to dive deep into repricing and that kind of stuff. Or even within that, like, I don't know if you're anything like me, like you'll go to a website and it's like, I'm going to find something here. And you just end up at that site for an hour and find nothing when there could have been something awesome somewhere else. So something that you might get in the habit of doing is, I'm going to spend 20 minutes here. And then if I don't find anything, I'm going to move on, find that next good opportunity I know about.
And actually, I'm going to riff for a second on something you just said there. And we were talking about lessons I've learned. And one lesson I wish I had learned a little earlier was repricing. Definitely a lesson I learned from Warner and the Lightspeed group. But I hit a point, and this was, I think it was in January, and I was doing good sales every day. And all of a sudden, my sales went to almost nothing. And I was scratching my head trying to figure out what was going on. And I just needed to reprice. And as soon as I spent the time, and it wasn't even that much time, it was an hour. I spent an hour repricing, and bam, my sales were right back where they were.
That's good. Yeah. And some of those might not have been the most profitable sales, right? But it's all about, getting that cash flow back and putting it into something smarter.
Yeah. I mean, if it's not a superstar performer, I got to get out of the stable and find one that is.
Yeah, that's a super good tip about the repricing there. So I really appreciate you hopping on the channel, kind of sharing your journey with us, James. It's going to be awesome to continue to see the growth. If you guys are interested in continuing, hopping in, networking with James and I and the other, other guys in the community, you can apply for that down below. It is, it's application based. So I would be happy to have you work directly with your business and all that. James, you got your 5-10 second elevator pitch. What do you have to say to the beginner sellers on your way out?
If you're serious about this, apply for Lightspeed.
Wow. All right. You heard it. You heard it from him. I didn't say it. I appreciate that. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys watching this video though. If you got some value out of learning from James's journey, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. Help me out a little bit. If you guys do have any questions, comments, anything like that, drop that down below as well. But I really appreciate you guys watching this video, and I will see you next time.